Homebrew Wednesday. That's 2 in a row already, so it's already an improvement on last year. And I've only got a couple of things that I want to talk about today. First of all, I just want to talk, well, not so much talk about, but mention mead. There was I can't remember what it was, a challenge or just I don't know what, I can't remember what it was, but it was issued by the Canadian Sasquatch for a mead challenge. I'm sure it was a mead challenge. Anyway, I did that, and I'm going back quite a number of months now, and I can't actually remember how long. However, I have bottled it now, so it's been 4 or 5 months at least. Must have been. Anyway, I made my mead using this. See if we can get a. Let me see if I can. Right, making this now. This is a local honey. The bee farm is no more than 5 or 6 miles away from my house, and that's what I've used. So I used 4 jars, which is about a kilo. Is it a kilo? Let me just have a look. 1.4 kilos, so I must have used 5 jars, and I bottled it last weekend. I didn't film it, you don't want to see a bloody bottling mead or anything for that matter. So this is it. Let's just turn that light off so you can see all the way through. It is crystal clear. These are in wine bottles at the moment. But what I was unsure of is what vessel you wanted me to send them over to. Now these have got to go all the way to Canada, so I don't fancy shipping like 2 of these, for example. It's going to be extortionately priced. I was thinking of clear PET bottles, but if Canadian Sasquatch, if you're watching this one, I know you watched my last one because you left a comment. I've not forgotten, as you can see, it's here. I just need a little bit more information on what I'm supposed to do with it next. I know it was a year-long process because mead does need time to age, but it's there, it's ready to go. All I need to know is, do I need to rebottle it before shipping? That's it, and obviously your shipping address. The stool is knackered, I need to buy a new one. Okay, moving on. Secondly, is the co-hop. I'm not sure how many of you are involved. There are quite a few. This was set up by Uncle Jona, and the theory behind it is we all grow some hops, and at the end of the season we share them out between us. You know, I've got so much of this, I ship out, and then it gets divided amongst everybody that's involved. You know, it's a big undertaking. There are concerns by some people as to, you know, are they going to be shipping wet hops? Are they going to? How do they have facilities to dry their hops? I do. I have a dehydrator, so I'm going to be putting them through that, drying them up. I also have a vac packer, so I'm going to put them in. Not quite sure what weight, but I'm sure we'll get a predetermined weight, and I'll package them up individually in vac packs, label them, send them out, and that's how I'm doing it. Now there are ways of drying your hops. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can use a tumble dryer with your missus' permission. I would ask first. And another way is to just simply hang them in your shed or in your garage, and you know, at that time of year it should be warm enough to dry them out within a few weeks, and then you take them off the vines. But I will put a link to the Facebook page in the more info section, and take a look, see what you think. Yeah, but that was one of the only concerns. And of course, the other concern really is, well, not so much a concern, but you know, some people they're buying the same kind of hops, so we've got to be sharing the same hops, which I don't see the point of, considering they're coming from, the majority are coming from the same supplier, so they're going to be the same hop exactly. And I can't see a major difference in the quality from where they're grown. Not significant enough to warrant that kind of swap anyway. So yeah, and then of course is the amount of people involved and whether we're going to produce enough, because there's no point in sending them out to people when you're only going to get, like, you know, if I only get so much, you know, obviously I'm going to keep some for myself, and then what I don't actually want, you know, it's got to be viable that each person gets enough to put in a brew. Yeah, you know, so you're looking at least 50 grams each, in my opinion, to make it worth swapping. So it might be a case of putting all the hops in a bag, so to speak, and seeing what people want, see what people don't want, and then sort of dividing it sort of that way. So everybody gets a little bit of something, but not everybody will be able to get the same. But yeah, but I think it's a cracking idea, especially next year. You know, when we dig up the rhizomes, we can swap them about. Before long, everybody's going to have jungles of hops in their garden, providing that's what they want, of course. I mean, I've picked the hops I've picked. What have I picked? Early Bird, Kent Goldings, Progress, and Prima Donna. Because I use those. There are others I use, but they didn't have them there for me to grow. So these are the ones I've picked. I've picked some obvious ones like the Kent Goldings and the Progress, and there's some, you know, not everybody will want. So hopefully when it comes to divvying them up, you know, we'll have enough. God damn it. Excuse me. Right, sorry about that. So much for my one take video. Never mind. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, the co-hop. Now I'll leave that there, except for the bit where, you know, I ordered my hops thinking I'm going to plant them in my garden. I planned all this, try this for it and everything, forgetting that I have to move. Right, so bloody new stool. I have to move house, and it's going to be before harvest time, way before harvest time. So I was thinking pots. There were 2 and 4 potting hops, but there were more against it than there were for it, and of course you get a smaller yield, which, going back to what I've just said about having enough to share, didn't seem like a good option. And out of the blue, my old man, he decided to come give me a visit, come see the kids and whatnot, and it just so happens he has an allotment. So I thought, this must be fate, you know. So cut a long story short, he's taken the hops, he's going to plant them on his allotment, he's going to take care of them for me, so all I have to worry about now is harvest time and going down there and harvesting. I will go down in small intervals just to see how they're getting on, how they're growing, just take a bit of footage or some pictures or whatever, just to show you how they're progressing, if I get the time to do that. He does live quite a way. He's a good hour and a half drive away from here. So if I find the time, I shall do that. So that being said, also, so that's it for the hops. But when my dad came, he also brought me a few little presents. He brought me this, which is a capper. Yeah, you've seen these before. But this is a really, it's all metal, another that plastic effort, and it works really well. It's got little, don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see it there. See the little indents for the different size, right there, for the little different size bottlenecks. So, yeah, it's handy. It's got like a, I'm assuming that's an adjustable thing for the capper. That bit there and there. Yeah. Brought me the brew belt, which is always handy. I mean, when he brought it, it was filthy, but I give it a good scrub, and it's come up a treat. So, nice little freebie. And he brought me this. I thought it was going to be hydrometer when I first saw it, but no, it is actually a thermometer. Beautiful one, and it has, it's a mercury thermometer. I haven't seen one of these for absolute yonks. I didn't think you could still get them. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can't. But yeah, I'm not sure I'll use it, but it's nice to have it. It comes in this nifty little baton looking effort. So yeah, it's a nice handy freebies, especially the brew belt. That's going to be handy over the next few months with the weather being cold, because I just showed you the mead thing. I'm going to be doing another one of them this Saturday, exactly the same as I've brewed that one, and I'll video it so you know you can see exactly what I did. It's a pretty straightforward process, which won't take long at all, so it'll be a very, very short video. But I do want to do at least one kit this weekend for getting another. I'm going to get a brew day in for the Brewhouse Chronicles for January. I want to get at least one of those in a month if I can, possibly two, especially with the kits. You know, they're really really straightforward, really easy. And with my free gifts off my dad, I also got one of these. It is ancient. Well, I say ancient. It's old, probably. See if it's got a published date on it. Let's have a look. 1978. I was 2 years old when this came out. So yeah, it's homemade wine and homemade wine and drinks, and it was 60p. And it's got various things in here for wines, ciders, spirits and liqueurs. There's a mead recipe there. Fruit gins, how to make various soft drinks and fruit syrups, and other stuff like, you know, like you can make cocktails or drinks made with liquidizers, like there. You've got an egg punch, whatever that is, never heard of it. And I'm sure I've even seen hot punches there, mulled drinks, toddies. I'm sure there was a thing in here, I probably can't find it now, telling you how to make a cup of tea, which, you know, that really needs to be in a book, doesn't it, how to make a cup of tea. Anyway, that's it, that's all I got. So in closing, I shall talk to you about my Vaughncast on the weekend. Now, I was given the opportunity, as Friday nights are usually Uncle Jonah on Vaughnlive, Saturday night is Lakey Bloke on UV Log, I think it is. UV Log. Anyway, I'll put links down below. So Uncle Jona's on a Friday night on Vaughan Live TV, and Mr. Roy Lakey Bloke, is on a Saturday night. Big thank you to you for giving me that opportunity. I had a blast. I thought it was great fun, and it'll be something I'll want to do again in the future. So if ever one of those guys aren't on for whatever reason, I mean, this weekend was Roy Lakey Bloke. He was feeling a little under the weather and decided to take a break, so I jumped in, and like I said, I had an absolute blast. He did come into the cast and watched it for a little while, and he helped me out with some of my settings and stuff like that, ironing out a few kinks. I really appreciate that, Roy. Thank you very much, and I'm hoping you're feeling a lot better. But yeah, but I will put, like I said, the more info section. I'll put Uncle Jona's cast page, as I will with Lakey Blokes, and my own. So, you know, you're always guaranteed one of us is going to be on the go. And that's, like I said, Fridays and Saturdays. And that's it, boys and girls. That's all I've got for you this week. Like I said, I'm hopefully getting a brew day in this weekend, but it's going to be a kit brews. I've got a few of them there that I need to get on. So I might do a little experimental thingamabobble, whatever, with those kits, and just try and make it a little bit more interesting. I'll add something, just to make it a little bit more entertaining, as opposed to me just putting kit and water and sugar in a bucket. Right, take it easy. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody.